Hello, my name is Ann Jensen, and I'm a pediatric ophthalmologist here at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. During the recent coronavirus pandemic, CHOP Ophthalmology is offering telemedicine visits to some of our patients. This allows us to prioritize the safety of your family while continuing our commitment to your child's care. This instructional video will provide you with some important information about how to prepare for your upcoming video visit and what to expect from this new type of communication with your doctor. Also, one of our technicians will be giving you a phone call one day prior to your visit and can help answer any additional questions you might have. Let's get started. One of the biggest ways you can help your child's visit run smoothly is by measuring his or her vision at home before your scheduled appointment. This is really only necessary if your child is around 3 years or older. If your child is 2 years or younger, you can skip this step. There are two different basic ways to measure your child's vision. The first involves using your printer to print out a vision chart to use at home. If you don't have a printer, don't worry. Later in this video, I will go over some ways to test your child's vision using an app on your phone. But let's talk about the printable vision charts first. There are two different free printable vision charts available. The first one is intended for children who are too young to reliably name letters. This test is called the HOTV test. If your child is too young to identify and name letters, visit these two links for the HOTV test and print each one out on a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of computer paper. But what if your child already knows all of his or her letters? In that case, he or she can do the Snellen test. For this test, print out the chart at this link instead. Keep in mind, all of these links are also provided on the written instructions you received in your welcome email and can be copied and pasted into your web browser. We'll start with the HOTV test. Let's take a look at the first paper first. This will be your vision chart. You'll fold the chart so that the letters are on the outside, along each of the vertical lines. Even though there's no line on the end here, we found that doing a small fold on this side helps the columns stand correctly. Once you're done folding, secure it with whatever you have handy. Some tape, a stapler, a paper clip, or as you see here, some bobby pins. Whatever works. And there you have your column. Remember to make sure that the space between the vertical lines is 2.5 inches. The second sheet of paper is a matching guide to help younger children who are too young to name their letters out loud. Have your child hold this sheet on his or her lap during the test. Keep in mind you can ignore this bottom section. For older children who can name letters, let's look at the Snellen test. The Snellen chart looks a lot like what you might see at your pediatrician's office. The printable HOTV test and printable Snellen test are set up in the same way. To set up your testing area, measure 10 feet from the wall to a chair where your child will sit. You can use a tape measure, the Measure app on your phone, or lay 11 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper end to end to measure the 10 feet. If you're using the HOTV test, simply hold the column with your back to the wall for your child to read. If you're using the Snellen test, simply tape the chart to the wall. If your child has glasses, make sure he or she is wearing them for vision testing. No matter what type of vision test you do, you will need to cover whichever eye is not being measured. You can either use a sticky patch if you already have one, or you can cover your child's eye with the palm of your hand. When measuring the vision in the right eye, you'll cover the left eye with the palm of your hand. Make sure that your child can't peek around the side of your hand or peek in between your fingers. Try to have your palm right in the center. When testing the left eye, you'll cover the right eye. If you're doing the HOTV test, it's helpful to familiarize your child with the letters on the test up close before your start. Once you're confident that your child understands how the test works, hold the column at 10 feet and point to the letter on the top of the column. Your child can either identify the letter by naming it or by matching it to a letter on the sheet in their lap. Next, rotate the column and again point to the letter on the very top. If your child can predictably name 3 out of the 4 letters on this row, then you can move to the smaller row just below and repeat the process. Your child's vision in this eye is the smallest or lowest line on the column where he or she can identify at least 2 of the letters consistently. When you're actually doing the test, it'll look something like this. If your child is doing the Snellen test, simply cover each eye and have him or her start at the top of the eye chart and read down as far as he or she can. Your child's vision in this eye is the lowest or smallest line where he or she can correctly identify at least half of the letters. If you don't have a printer at home, there are several phone apps available that you can use instead. If you have an Android, there are 2 different apps to choose from depending on whether your child knows how to name letters. If your child is young, less than 4 years or so, choose the tumbling E chart. If your child is older and can easily name letters, choose the Snellen chart. These Android apps are both free. If you have an iPhone, the sister app is called Visual Acuity Charts. It costs $4.99 and can be used whether or not your child knows his or her letters. The last app available is called the Eye Handbook. It's not quite as good as the other apps, but it gets the job done. To download the app, go to either the App Store on your iPhone or Google Play Store on your Android. In the search box, type in the name of the app you have chosen, either Snellen Chart or Tumbling E-Chart on Android or Visual Acuity Charts on iPhone. Find the icon of the app you're looking for, and then download the app. Once you've downloaded the app on either your iPhone or Android, open the app and review the basic settings here, hit the Close button, and then the Settings button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. In Settings, the 4th option down, change notation from decimal to fraction. Then change units of length from meter to foot. Then in the Custom Distance box, type 10. Lastly, enable the Record Scores option and press OK. Then, to return to the main menu, press the Settings button in the top left of the screen. Finally, change 20 foot to 10 foot, and you're done. If you're using the Visual Acuity Chart test on the iPhone, first select the type of test that's best suited to your child. If he's young and can't name letters yet, choose the Leia Symbols test and swipe through the square, the apple, the house, and the circle to practice naming the pictures. If your child is older and can name letters, select Snellen instead. If you're using the Tumbling E's app on the Android phone, practice with your child pointing in the direction of the E's legs. Right, up, left, and down. To begin testing, press the play button in the bottom left corner of the screen. If prompted, then press the close button and you're ready to start. Remember that during testing, you should hold the phone 10 feet away from your child. When your child answers correctly, you're actually going to swipe this direction. This is a little counterintuitive for me. Kind of like you're turning back a page in a book that you're reading on a tablet. When you swipe for a correct answer, a little check mark will appear on the top of the screen. If your child answers incorrectly, you'll swipe the other direction, kind of like you're paging forward. And in those cases, a little X appears at the top of the screen. You'll follow these steps all the way through until the test ends and generates a score. Remember, you're going to test the right eye first with the left eye covered. Then you'll test the left eye with the right eye covered. And if your child's up for it, then try testing with both eyes open together. When you're actually testing, it'll look something like this.
When is it done?
Okay, we're done. The other app available is called the Eye Handbook. This app is free and is compatible with both iPhone and Android. The format is not the easiest to work with and can only be tested from 14 inches or about 2 feet, arm's length, but it gets the job done. To download the app, go to either the App Store on your iPhone or Google Play Store on your Android. Search for Eye Handbook, the icon looks like this, and download the app. Then click on the app icon. Wait for a second while the app loads an advertisement and then click Skip in the upper right-hand corner. Then select Continue without login. If the app asks you to rate the app, click Not Now. Then choose Testing in the upper left. The app will notify you that the screen should be kept at a distance 14 inches away, about arm's length. Click OK, then choose Vision Tests, and again, OK if prompted. Finally, choose Near Vision Cards. This will take you to a screen with lots of different letters. If your child can read them, then great, you're ready to begin. If your child is younger, swipe to the right and choose from a few different options: numbers, X's and O's, and tumbling E's. Tumbling E's are probably our top choice. In this case, ask your child to point in the direction that the E's legs are pointing. Practice a bit before you start the test. Your child's vision in the eye being tested is the lowest or smallest line where he or she can correctly identify at least half the letters or numbers. Record your results, and remember, when you're covering your child's eye, be careful not to let him or her peek around your palm or in between your fingers. And you're done.